Well, hi y'all, it's Jimmy, your native Flor-xan, and today I'm going to be sharing my quick chili recipe. And although it's not Texas chili because we're going to put some beans in it, it's a quick meal for when you're busy throughout the work week. So let's get into it. Alright folks, so getting started, this is not going to be your typical Texas chili. So I don't want comments about, well, hey, you put beans in it and that's not Texas chili. Well, I'm not making Texas chili. I'm making the chili that I grew up on. And we put beans in our chili. So wife likes it that way, I like it that way, and that's how we're going to eat it. But you can certainly follow this recipe and not put the beans in it if that's not how you want it. So, alright folks, so getting started here, I'm just going to get my burner lit, get down to a decent heat. Now what I got here is I bought a 2-pound package of some ground chuck and then I split it in half. I find it's cheaper when you do that than if you buy them little bitty round sausages of ground meat. Next we're going to add, I got some Owens hot sausage. We're going to put all this down in there and get it browned down. Then I'll show you what we're going to do from there. Alright, so we're working our meat around, getting it browned down, and I just want to mention this little tool right here. My wife got it some years ago. When you're doing a bunch of ground meat, this works good for getting the meat broke up how you want it so you can get it browned down the way you want it. So while I had it, I just wanted to mention it. So you can see here we got our meat. It's pretty much cooked. I am going to let it kind of cook a little more and try to get a little browning on it a little more. Alright, so as you can see, I kind of moved all that meat to one side and all that grease is kind of puddling up. So we're just going to dab a paper towel in there and try to get the majority of that out of there. Alright, you can see I got the majority of it out. I did leave a little bit in there just to help this meat get finished on browning down, and then we're going to start adding some vegetables in here. Alright, so what helps makes this a quick chili is I bought some pre-cut vegetables. This is chopped onion, celery, bell pepper, green onion, and garlic. It's a Creole mix that they sell at H-E-B. And I'm going to probably put a good majority of this in here. Package says 2 1/3 cups, so I'll probably put at least good 2 cups in there. So we'll get this in here and get this working. Now we're not trying to caramelize them vegetables, we're just trying to cook them down a little bit. Now, I do want to mention that Creole mix that I put in here, I have found it frozen in the frozen section, and I've used that in the past as well. It doesn't have to be fresh, but it just helps make it a lot quicker. That way you don't have to cut up all them vegetables. Alright folks, so our vegetables are starting to be translucent. I'm going to add a can of just regular Rotel with the juice, and then I'm going to add a small can of just some tomato sauce, and we're going to get this worked in here. Alright, next I got about 9 ounces of beef bone broth that I'm going to dump off in there. Alright, next I'm going to add about a tablespoon of this Better Than bouillon, just to add a little more of that beefy flavor to it and get that bouillon stirred up in there real well. Alright, so now we're going to go in with our chili powder. Now I'm kind of partial to this, I think it's Gebhardt, that's what it is. Been using it for years, and I got 2 tablespoons of that going in. Alright, we got that stirred in, so next I'm going to add a tablespoon of New Mexican chili powder. Then I got 2 cans of dark red kidney beans that I've drained them off, rinsed them off with water. And now we're throwing them in the pot. Before I forget, a couple tablespoons of garlic. Here I'm just adding a little bit of my house seasoning, which again is salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Now we're going to go in about 2 tablespoons the Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, whatever you want to call it. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. This stuff is pretty strong, so I don't put a lot of that in there. Alright, I think the last thing we're going to add is we're going to do a couple tablespoons of bourbon. Now this is April 1 bourbon. If you haven't seen it, this is a veteran-owned company. And being a veteran myself, I try to support other veterans. Alright folks, we're going to let this set and simmer for a little bit. Turn that fire down just a hair. And let all them flavors come together. But in total, we got about 20 minutes in this so far. Alright, this is simmering pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and put the lid on it. We're going to let it run about another 10 minutes. And then we'll try a little bit of it. The magic of YouTube. So we've been simmering now for about 10 minutes. See, everything's kind of brought on that color of that chili powder. And it smells real good. You get just a little hint of that bourbon and a little bit of that balsamic vinegar. But I think everything is softened up, looking good. So I'm going to shut that fire off and let it cool a minute, then we're going to give it a taste. Alright, let's grab a spoon of this and see. Sorry, I got my ice machine running in the background. That's that noise. But this is looking good. Folks, so still kind of hot, but let's give her a taste. Man, that's good. It's got a good chili flavor. You know, I don't make my chili extremely hot. It's got just enough heat to it. Now as it sits and cools overnight and we go to reheat it tomorrow, it's liable to be a little bit warmer. So, but I've learned 2 tablespoons of that chili powder that I use, Gebhard or whatever, however you say it. And then I like using that New Mexican red chili in there as well. And so, nice quick chili. We got about 40 minutes in this. And so that's not too bad. You know, getting the pre-cut vegetables, having the canned beans. Of course, if you don't want beans, don't put them in there. But it's a good, quick recipe to try. I've had a lot of people that really like it because it's not too spicy, but it's got just enough kick to it to let you know you're eating chili. But other than that, I know Mama's hungry, so let's get her to eating, and we'll see you on the next one.